Gimme Yarn 418, and this is Thank God It's Finished, TGIF. And it's been a while since I made a video. I had said I was going to make one last Friday, but that didn't happen, so now it's been 2 weeks since my last video, and I have quite a bit to show you. What's been going on in life? Not too much. I mean, we woke up this morning and we had no power. One of 3 houses in the town with no power, which was fun. But it came back on, so I can record and do laundry, my 2 plans for the day. Today is Sunday, September 11th, 2016. If Dewey barks, I apologize. Bring it here. Bring it here. I will do my best to keep him occupied. He has his upstairs toys, his studio toys, so hopefully he'll entertain himself. All right, this could take longer than I thought. Anyway, the first thing I finished, I don't have with me. I forgot to make a video before I sent it off, but I'm going to put a link in the description below to the video of the person I sent it to, which was Zelda NRJ3. She had been saying for a while, or not saying, she had been trying to crochet a virus shawl for a while and wasn't having much success and got really discouraged about it. And Z, as you know, sent Kristen and I some yarn and sends things for Kristen now and again. And we wanted to do something for her, so I crocheted one for her. And Z, that is not the project I'm working on that I told you about. I do have something coming way down the pipeline that's completely different. Anyway, I'll put a link to Z's video of her getting that package, which was by far the best reaction to something I've made ever in my entire life. Sorry, coffee. That's Dewey, if you can hear that. I'm holding a fuzzy toy and he's trying to steal it from me. And I will put a picture in, maybe I can just, oh, I didn't bring my iPad up. I'll put in a picture right here of Z modeling the shawl. I crocheted that out of James C. Brett Woodlander DK, and it took 2 skeins. She said I had quizzed her through over time about what size shawl she liked, and it made a good size shawl, and I thought it was kind of along the sides that she likes. So the next thing I knit is the Pumpkin Hamster by, I think it's Alan Dart. There's a link on my Ravelry page. I've wanted to knit this for years and just bit the bullet. So he has a little jack-o'-lantern that he carries to go trick-or-treating. And this pattern comes with a devil, a ghost, a witch, and the pumpkin, and I knit the pumpkin. And here is the little pumpkin. He's so cute. So cute. Most of my decor for Halloween and fall is pumpkin themed so that it can transition from Halloween to Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving's my favorite. Well, Christmas is my other favorite. Christmas is my favorite for decorating. Anyway. So here he is. He was a lot of fun. He is knit flat. Some of it I did edit to knit in the round. Not the head, not the hat, not the arms. But the legs and the body I knit in the round, I think. Nope, the legs I knit flat and the body I knit in the round. So there he is. He's super cute, and he lives on my mantle. And the next thing I finished is I've been working on some Christmas ornaments, and the first one I'm knitting it just out of wool-like fingering. This first one is intended to be knit out of worsted weight, so it's a little smaller, but I think it's really adorable. It's called, let me take my pen off, the Dub Ball, D-U-B. It's a free pattern. There's a link on Ravelry under the pattern. There's a link to the shop where you can get it from, and it is a free pattern. So here it is. Look at all those VW bugs. So cute. And the next ones I knit are actually called mitten garland, and I've just taken the mittens and knit them singularly as ornaments. I'm not going to do all 24. I might do all 24. But I just took the number off and did the back chart on the front. So this is mitten number 1 in the series, and I thought it came out pretty nice. Thought the color work popped pretty well for an acrylic yarn. And this is number 16. Sorry, just looking at my notes. So if you were doing the advent calendar, which is what it is, where this diamond is here, Dewey, where this diamond is here, it would say number 16. And I just used the back chart on the front. So there's number 16. Again, I'm pretty pleased with how the color work turned out in this acrylic yarn. I haven't blocked them yet. So that is literally all my FOs. You gonna make it, buddy? You gonna make it? You gonna make it? So let's jump right into whips, and I'm gonna start with the Christmas ornaments because the bag's still open. That is just a collapsing trachea. It's nothing to be worried about. It's very common in smaller dogs when they get overexcited, like this one is. You want to sit in my lap? Come here. Come on. Okay. Maybe we'll be calm now. So I started another mitten. I see a lot of these in my future because they're a lot of fun. They take about a day, a little less than a day to knit. And it's not much of anything just yet, but this is number 23, and it's in gray and white. I think there'll be a green in here too. I can't quite remember. Or a red. I don't remember. And, oops, that's nice. A new technique for me in this pattern was the Latvian braid, which looks super duper complicated, but was so simple. I just went on YouTube, where you already are, and Googled Latvian braid, and I followed the drops video. There's no talking, it's just showing you how to do it. Pedal. Sorry, we have puppy pads up here because Dewey gets very excited, shall we say, when his body hits carpet. So I had to make sure he wasn't going to relieve himself anywhere but there. You can't get in my... Come over here. This is going to take forever. Anyway, Latvian braid. I followed the drops video tutorial, and it was pretty simple, and I really like it, and it's really easy and fun. So I might have to knit myself some human size mittens and do that. I actually have a book, this book, Favorite Mittens, that's all colorwork mittens. I don't know if you can see those, but maybe I'll have to pull that out and attempt to knit some. It has tons of charts in here. Anyway, I've had that book for ages and never knit anything from it. Isn't that always the way? Latvian braid, mitten garland, free on Ravelry. I will update my project page today to add that to it. Okay, now let's get into the meat of the knitting and crocheting. Let's start with this. This is the White Pine by Amy Christoffers, I believe. White Pines. I've talked about this a lot. I'm just knitting it in Encore Tweed, which was a birthday gift. And I had been working on the body, and the last time I saw you, I was where the broom is, and I finished the body, well, the underarms of the body. Now Dewey's just sitting there watching me. And let me tell you, to pick up a pattern that to begin with is quite complicated in the way that it is written, and then quite intricate in where you are, it was a little bit challenging, but I was able to figure out where I was. This was initially going to be my Rhinebeck sweater, and it may still. I now have all these sweaters, and I can't decide which one to wear. Dewey? Okay, let's see if we can entertain him with this. So I finished the body, and Then I cast on both the cuffs because it was 45 rows of twisted rib, and do you know how easy it is to miss one row of twisted rib? And I wanted to be able to measure them and make sure they were exactly the same size. So I knit both the cuffs, and then I started the first sleeve. And I'm about halfway through the sleeve, maybe a little bit more. These cuffs are no joke. They go almost to my elbow. Like, there's the end of the cuff. There's my, well, you can see that. I don't need to tell you that. They are long cuffs. But I may make the sleeves a little longer so I can roll them up. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll have to see how much yarn I have. I'm sorry for the barking. I wish there was something I could do about it, but he's kind of a jerk sometimes. What can I say? Okay, so that's the white pines. Finally out of hibernation, and it wasn't in hibernation because I wasn't in love with it, because I really do love knitting on it, even though the pattern is atrocious. It's not atrocious. The pattern is not well formatted. It's all in one big paragraph, and it's quite confusing, and there are errors in the chart, and it's not a beginner pattern, and I don't think that you should be charging $7 for a pattern with errors in it. Just saying. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Next thing I did was I started another sweater because I'm apparently nuts. So I've had the yarn for this forever. It's from the sheep farm down the road, and it is Stroker. And who's this one by? We sold the Teagues. And I really love the colors in this one, so I kind of took inspiration from that. And my colors are gray for the body, this navy blue for one of the contrast colors, and the yellow for where the yellow is in the pattern, and I love it. And I haven't gotten too far on this. I just knit on this. I knit it once. I started it, and I held it up, and I could have fit 1.5 of me in there, maybe 2. So I had to rip it out and go down to a smaller size. And this is how much I've knit so far. Not too much. There's no deadline on this. I'd just like to have it for the winter sometime. I don't anticipate or plan to have this done in time for Rhinebeck weekend when everybody's here, but wouldn't that be nice? But it probably won't be cold enough for this. This is, she knit this out of Lopi, L-O-P-I, and that's a more rustic yarn, and so is this yarn from the sheep farm. So I thought that would be great for it, and so far so good. He can be such a jerk. Okay, what is next? What is next? What is next? Yeah, you're still a jerk, I know. Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach. Let me remind you what this one looks like, if I can. Pebble Beach. This was gifted to me by Ming Mao. It's by Helen Stewart. It's a pay-for pattern on Ravelry, and it comes in 3 sizes, and I think I'm knitting the large, or maybe the medium. Oh, I'm knitting the medium. And I've only done a few rows on this since I saw you last. That's not it. That's not it. Just to remind you, I'm knitting this out of Hawthorne Fingering in the Compass kettle dye color. This is my first time knitting with it, and I like it. I like it a lot. This ultimately will not be for me because the color is not really for me. I love the color. I think it's gorgeous, but it just doesn't, it kind of washes me out. And that's totally fine. So it's rolling just a little bit, but it's long. And the last time you saw it, it was there. So maybe 4 rows, not even that. Because I really got into the white pine, but I do love this. I might have to knit on this today, but there's something else I might have to knit on too. So there's that. Loving that. Did I hold that up long enough, I hope? Next is a pair of socks for Kristen, and I didn't bring any sock blockers up. Nope, I didn't bring any sock blockers up. And it is out of Arnie and Carlos. This is the third line, I believe, or the fourth. Color is 2463. Stop it. Stop it. 2463. It's really beautiful. Don't you hate when you start to knit something and you fall in love with it and you have to give it away? Every time I knit a pair of socks for Kristen, I pick out yarn specifically for her and I fall in love with them. But then I get to see them on her feet. I really do like knitting things for her. Dewey. Okay, I've got the fuzzy toy under my leg again so that he can try and steal it. Anyway, I think I had started these the last time. I could look back and tell you. No, I hadn't started these. I said I was going to start them. Well, I did. I started it. And I knit about this much. And then I put them down till yesterday. And I knit this much. It's just a plain vanilla sock with fish lips kiss heel. This is the first sock. Voila! Look at those colors. I love the purple in there. I'm going to show you along the front because, like I said, I don't have a blocker. I just love that pop of purple in there. And that blue. That blue is really nice too. That royal. So those were addictive. And I had intended not to match these. I know. I started these actually at the tail end of Kristen's infusions. That's why I didn't get much done on them. Her IV infusions. And she's doing much better. Thank you to everyone who asked. So, late last night, I just cast on the cuff because I know a lot of people suffer from second sock syndrome, and I may have once or twice, but my key to finishing a pair of socks is as soon as I Kitchener the toe, I cast on and knit a few rows of the cuff of the second sock. Because then it's not as daunting. I have to start it, I have to find where I'm going to start it, and it's not as daunting to me. But I did end up matching them up because I loved how this one's striped, how the heel took all of that big chunk of blue and gold. Fibers everywhere. So I did match them up miraculously, and I love them, and I actually may finish these today. It's a kind of, it goes from being super duper sunny to pouring rain here, so maybe we'll watch some movies and I will finish those. Socks for Kristen. Oh, they're just, I love them. I love them. I love knitting socks, though. You all know that. You all know that. I think he's going to be quiet now. The next thing I started, which I got to find the pattern so I can kind of show you. Maybe I'll show you on my phone. It'll be better. Is a advent calendar. And I will ultimately be making 3 of them. One for myself, one for Kristen's mother, and one for my sister, if I can find the picture. It's pay for a pattern on Ravelry, and there it is. How stinking cute is that? I've knit the face and I've knit the pockets so far. Not too much to go on my first one. And that pom-pom, I'm going to make that an actual pom-pom. Why knit a big circle? So this is just out of acrylic. I'm crocheted the face. There's Santa's face and his beard. Ho ho ho. Okay, that's creepy. And I have crocheted the pockets. And then I had to put that down because my wrist was hurting a little because I crocheted a lot. As Kristen said, I crocheted at warp speed, so oops. And I'll show you again what that's going to look like. Isn't that just, it's just so cute. I saw it and I had to crochet it. I actually thought it was knit when I first saw it, and I got the pattern and I said, oh, it's crochet. it's quite obviously looking at it crochet, but I'm an equal opportunity crafter. And the last thing I worked on is my Scrappy sock blanket. A lot of people call it the Cozy Memories blanket. I'm not calling it that just because I don't remember a lot of these and some of them are minis. So I'll show you first the ones I added to it. I added a blue sparkle one. This yarn's from Jen. This was a mini? Nope. This was a Miss Babs Yummy 2-ply sample. This yarn was also from Jen. This was actually a skein though. This was the Wool Sunday socks I just finished. This is West Yorkshire Spinners. I think it's Owl. No, Blue Tit. It's Blue Tit. This was a mini. This was, I believe, a mini from Jen. Jen Likes Yarn. Another mini that I bought somewhere along the way. And then this was another mini. So my blanket is gargantuan. I've decided this is my retirement project because by the time Kristen and I retire, it may be done. May. But I am actually making this to go on our guest bed eventually. And it's one row is 24, the next row is 22 squares across, and I cast on 31 stitches. So here it is so far. I pulled this out because I went to knit night this week and I didn't have anything all that mindless I could bring with me. I suppose I could have brought the socks, but I wanted something different. It keeps going and going. This is one of my favorite yarns ever. It's Electric Boogie from Spinning Fates. Oh look, I've already used the Blue Tit right there. And gone. So that is back out and in the mix, and it'll stay out until I get bored of it. Or I actually may make this my knit night project, because if I make a mistake and have to rip out the whole block, it's only 31 stitches. So we shall see. And that is all my whips, and he is finally quiet, of course. What's next? What's next? Oh, next up, more socks. Shocker, more socks. I'm looking at all my sock yarn over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's kind of dark in those cubbies. And more socks. I will always be knitting socks. I love socks. And the next thing I would like to continue on is ornaments, and that's where I am going to ask for your help. What do you have any ornament patterns, crochet or knit, that you would recommend? Because I love knitting ornaments, and I actually have an artificial tree that I keep up in my studio. It's tiny. I might get a bigger one next year. I keep it up in my studio all year long just so I can look at them, and it's kind of fun. So what ornaments do you like? What have you knit or crocheted? What are some that you'd like to knit or crochet? And I'd love to hear what your recommendations would be. And the last thing I have, in the realm of the sock yarn blankets, I am wondering if there's anyone out there who would like to do a mini skein swap with me. I have a lot of yarn for mini skeins. This will not be a grand join in mini skein swap. It'll be maybe you and I exchange 5 mini skeins. If you're interested, private message me on Ravelry. That'll be the best way to do that, and we can work out all the coordinates. I think it's going to rain again. Did you notice how dark it got? And I guess there's 2 more things. Secret Santa swaps are still, Secret Santa sign-ups are still going on. Here comes the sun again. So go over there if you haven't already and sign up. We are getting close to full. And like I said, and I say every year, if you don't have a wish list, make a wish list. Santa will be a lot kinder to you if you have a wish list, because they'll get to know you a little bit better. He's such a ham. You want to see him? Look at this goofball. Look at him. See all my project bags over there? It's kind of embarrassing. Anyway, and last but not least, on September 29th, I will have officially been making YouTube videos related to yarn for 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. I originally started on Fresh Off the Hook, and then when I was doing more knitting than crocheting, I switched over to the cast off crew, and that kind of fizzled out. But I have heard in videos that Laura's going to be coming back. I don't know if there'll be more cast off crew people popping up, which would be great. And then I branched off into my own video blog, knitting, show and tell, whatever you want to call it. I don't really call it a podcast. You can call it whatever you want. And started doing TGIF, and it's been 5 years. I think TGIF has been almost 3.5. Anyway, on 9/29, I am going to be hosting a pretty big giveaway. Here's some of the yarns I have, and I have some other stuff, and all you need to do is be a subscriber. I'm at like 2,600 subscribers. 2,600 subscribers. I would love to get to 3,000 subscribers as my anniversary gift to myself, but if I don't, it's not a big deal. Anyway, so I'm going to be having a super duper huge giveaway, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to announce it on the 29th, but I may push off pulling a winner until after Rhinebeck so I can pick a lucky winner up, something special there. So that is all I have for today. I hope you are all doing well. I'm doing pretty great. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.